All right, so look, let's have an honest conversation. When we think of work, we imagine tasks, duties, and responsibilities. But in reality, the modern workplace has very little to do with the work itself. The actual product or service is secondary. The real function of most jobs of today is simple: to condition your submission. Every time you walk into that building, you are stepping into a ritual space. A space that was not designed to uplift your talents, but to slowly dismantle your dignity. Most people think that they're being paid for their skills, but in reality, the deeper truth is you're being paid for your obedience. You're being paid for your submission. That's the unspoken contract. Yes, your labor is useful, but your compliance is sacred. And in this dystopian atmosphere, you are expected to ritualize your own humiliation. The uniform, the scripted greetings, the forced enthusiasm. All of it serves one purpose: to remind you of who holds the power. Because it's not enough for the system to exploit your time. It wants your energy. It wants your smile. It wants your spirit of gratitude, even while it devours you. And the managers, the bosses, the supervisors, they are not the originators of this ritual. However, they are its most loyal priests. They have been trained to value performance over principle and profits over people, and to enforce these rituals with a casual, almost calm and detached, like cruelty. Like, these people do this so calmly, but yet so cruel at the same time. It's no coincidence that narcissism is rewarded in this structure. The workplace does not need leaders, at least not in capitalism. In capitalism, the workplace needs enforcers of compliance. It needs individuals who can look you in the face, see your humanity, and still choose to prioritize a company policy over your well-being. But the humiliation ritual goes even deeper. It's in the way that you're monitored, not for the quality of your work, but for how well you conform to their behavioral expectations. Were you smiling enough? Did you say thank you in the correct tone? Did you look busy even when there was nothing to do? These are not metrics of productivity. They are tests of submission. And when you fail to perform the ritual correctly, there are consequences, write-ups, disciplinary sessions, coaching sessions, all methods to recalibrate your obedience. And this is how the modern workplace operates. Not as a collaborative environment, but more like a theater of exploitation, where the appearance of harmony is maintained through a relentless pressure to comply. And the reason it feels so dystopian is because everybody knows that it's a lie. Everybody knows that it's a performance. The workers know it, the managers know it, corporate knows it, but the ritual continues because it serves the machine. You have to understand that this is not personal, it's structural. You are not being devalued because of a personal failing. You are being devalued because this system was designed to extract your humanity while keeping you grateful for the opportunity. That's the real hustle. To convince you that enduring these daily microaggressions is somehow being a good employee. That sacrificing your mental health is paying your dues. That somehow loyalty to a company that sees you as expendable is virtue. But let me be clear. There is no ladder to climb. There is no next level that liberates you from these rituals. Because this system was not designed for liberation. It was designed for control. So when you feel drained after a shift, it's not just the labor that exhausted you. It's the spiritual weight of participating in your own dehumanization. And here's the truth that they don't want you to see. Your labor has value, but your willingness to submit is what they truly covet. That is what they truly want. And that's the currency that they trade in. But once you recognize the ritual for what it really is, once you see that this humiliation was by design, then you regain the power to step back, to preserve your energy, and begin redirecting your labor to something that serves you. Because this machine cannot function without your participation. And the most revolutionary act that you can do in a system like this is simply to stop offering them your spirit.
So let's talk about it, guys. Humiliation rituals. We see it happening, and we may not even catch on it right when it's happening. But that feeling that we get when we know we've been embarrassed, shamed, disappointed, made fun of, just a negative feeling that we get from others that were done purposefully. Those are what we know as humiliation rituals, okay? We tend to go through these things at the workplace, in social groups, friend groups. I go through them quite often. Maybe at work, I do, when my coworkers or my supervisor feels threatened by me and my presence and the knowledge that I have, as well as my beauty, which I can understand. But I also went through it just about this weekend, yesterday or the weekend, when the owner of the nail salon, she has this way about her where she's nice, and then she turns around and then she has an attitude, or she finds something about me that she thinks she could pick on me, or even tries to come for my daughter, which I don't allow at all. So we have to be mindful of when humiliation rituals are going on and who's practicing them and what's their purpose for practicing them. Because sometimes it can stem from jealousy, it can stem from hatred, it can stem from knowing something that you may know, or that they don't know, or your aura, your spirit, your discernment with God, and how close you are with God. And it also can stem from people's own personal issues that they go through, and not knowing how to seek God for their own issues, but instead they rather take their anger out or their bitterness on other people. So I really wanted to touch on this topic about humiliation rituals, because it's happening constantly. It's happening on a daily, especially to God's chosen people. You have to be careful of the job that you're doing or the type of friends that you have. So right now we can talk about jobs, right? Let's say you're trying to go for a higher position, and your boss is aware of that. Your boss knows you're very smart and you're talented and you're able to do the position that you're actually going for. But that threatens their position, or that threatens the fact that you may be getting closer to the job that they're doing, or opening you up to more opportunities within the company. And they don't want that for you. They want you to stay under them and be a puppet, or be someone who they can control. So once you get into those new positions and move on, they ultimately won't be able to control you anymore. So that would be a reason why a humiliation ritual would be done on you, in order to stop you from your destiny on moving up within the company. When those things happen, it's best to I guess move on from the company, because ultimately a supervisor like that won't stop until they get you fired. They won't stop until they can paint a picture of you being this horrible person, and it won't stop. So it's best that you take that energy and put it into your own craft, your own work, and build up your own company where you can promote yourself and give yourself raises on demand. Okay? Within friend groups, this used to happen to me a lot, but now it doesn't happen at all. Because you know why? When it comes to friend groups and humiliation rituals, most of the time it stems from jealousy. It stems from envy, having something that other girls may not have, or the type of energy that you bring, the happiness that you carry. And I'm someone who is always happy, always looking to help others, always seeking God first in every situation. So a lot of people don't have that discernment and don't even understand that discernment. But they get along with other people who feel the same way as them and don't truly understand how to tackle their issues. So they find someone like me or someone like you, and they do a humiliation ritual, whether if it's making fun of you, whether if it's embarrassing you, or whether if it's, trying to put you in a vulnerable situation. Like, I remember, and this probably wasn't a humiliation ritual, but I remember there was this one time my friends and I had went to, to the theme park, and there were roller coasters. I'm not really a fan of roller coasters. I don't really like getting on roller coasters. And around that time, I was wearing a wig, which I'm so glad I don't have those issues anymore. It's always best to wear your natural hair. But that's a whole nother video I will make in another time. So I had a wig on, and they were just like, yeah, get on the roller coaster. Come on, let's do it. And I'm just like, no, I don't want to do it. You know, I know what's going to happen. Like, the minute that roller coaster goes upside down, my wig is flying off. So no, I don't plan on getting on a roller coaster. And again, don't allow anybody to force you to do something that you don't want to do. If it's a no, it's a hard no with no explanation. If it's a no, it's a hard no with no explanation. Okay? And, you know, after not getting on that roller coaster or whatever, and they decided to go themselves, I guess because they weren't wearing any wigs, they had on their sew-ins, they started treating me shady, real shady. You know, like, okay, yeah, we see how she is, yeah. And they started acting real funny. So that is also another form of a humiliation ritual, because they are ultimately just trying to make fun of you. They are ultimately trying to bash you, when they knew that, you know, if you don't want to do something, you shouldn't have to do it, and nobody should have to force you to do it, and nobody should have to make you feel funny about not doing it. Okay? Because if they were in that same situation, I would not have forced that on them, nor have I make them feel uncomfortable after going through that situation. But pay attention to those kind of people. Pay attention to the things that you have to go through when you're around certain people. Okay? It happens in the workplace. It happens with friends. Sometimes it could happen with your lover. If you're with somebody who you may actually love more than, you know, they love you, they will try to do humiliation rituals on you. They will try to embarrass you, you know. They will try to make you feel less than in situations, okay? But I really want to spin back on jobs, because jobs do humiliation rituals the most. You know, they try to single you out in meetings, or build up a report on you when they see you're doing good, or even subtle remarks and subtle ways of how they treat you after you've been rewarded for doing good. So those are also considered humiliation rituals. We have to be mindful of what people are doing and how people are treating us. We have to be mindful of why they're doing it, and to not take it personal, and to not, you know, not get upset, not give in to the ritual. Because the whole point of the ritual is to get you upset. The whole point of ritual is to get you out of character. The whole point of the ritual is to break you. And we don't want that for you. Chosen ones don't want that for other chosen ones. So please be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the people you keep around you. Be aware of the situations that are coming your way. Okay? Learn to be still. Learn to be quiet in those situations. Learn to sometimes play along, you know, so they have nobody to joke on, you know. When they're pointing you out to joke, you stand in the crowd like, like, who are you guys talking about? You know, play along. Play along. Don't let anyone get you out of character. Don't let anyone make you upset when that is not the case. Like, for example, at my job, I had requested an additional day off because of my disability, right? I have a disability. I'm not going to disclose what that is. And, you know, when you request an ADA accommodation, companies tend to start treating you really messed up. So the day after I requested that accommodation, they digged up a file from months ago. Mind you, we're in a whole new year. That file was like the middle of last year, saying that, oh, Sam did this case wrong. And there were multiple people who agreed with me on the way I did that case, including high-level medical providers and you know, people who've been to school for quite some time to truly understand the nature of medicine. And out of all the people that were involved in that case, they gave me a class 1 deduction of 10 points because of the outcome of that case. Instead of actually finding a solution and warning me about the solution, like, hey, you know, this happened, we don't want it to happen again, do you have any inputs on what to do? No, they wanted to punish me for it. And then ultimately I decided, you know, once they asked for my opinion and asked if I wanted to appeal or if I disagreed, I said, yes, I do disagree. I don't think this is fair. And I gave my reasons as to why I disagreed. But when I was sitting in the meeting with my supervisor, she had the nerve to say, oh, but you were upset And rightfully so. But ma'am, when did I ever say I was upset? Because I don't agree with what you're trying to put on me and I'm defending myself does not mean I'm upset with the situation. So be mindful of that. You know, people like to take your defensiveness out of character. Be mindful of people who want to see you upset, all because maybe they were upset for something that happened to them and related to you that you know nothing about. Okay, be mindful of that, and they will try to pull humiliation rituals on you. I've had a humiliation ritual done by my mother. You know, I don't want to get into that, but there's there's a lot of jealousy that's out here, especially on the attacks of chosen ones and the ones who follow Christ and God at all times, because these people are at war with themselves and they're looking for someone to blame. They're looking for someone to take down with them. They know they're going down and they're looking for someone to take down with them so they don't feel alone in this situation. And when you're not following their God or their non believing ass, right? And you're actually following Christ and God and doing the things that you need to do, then they will try to do a humiliation ritual on you. So be careful of that, be mindful of that, be aware of your surroundings, learn when to be still, learn to assess a situation for what it is spiritually, not what's actually present in front of you physically, but spiritually. Learn to assess a situation, learn to assess what they're trying to do to you, okay? And always stay focused, always stay on your toes. You know, it's okay to be kind, but don't be too nice. It's okay, all right? Because there's people out here that will take advantage of you and the things that you do. Okay? Love you guys. I'll talk to you guys later.
One way to confirm that you are a true chosen one is when you can look back at your younger days and realize that people really tried to make a fool of you. People tried to make you embarrassed. People tried to put you on blast. The small errors that you made were magnified to the masses. People try and put you in uncomfortable positions in public settings. The reason why is because the act of public humiliation to the chosen one is a tactic from the devil in order to diminish the aura of the chosen one, to try and shake their path, to try and get in their head and block their confidence in order to do chosen one things. And, this attack is very common in the workplace as an adult, but as a kid, it was usually at school. You might have been bullied. You might have had people talk about your name, little bitty petty things people notice about you, they try and put on the mass scale and try and make fun of you because there's really not a lot that they can make fun of other than petty things. You are a solid person, you are good to people, you're charismatic, you put other people first, but in turn, people treat you worse. So, another reason why chosen ones prefer to be alone and typically are quiet in new settings is because we have to observe the energy around us. We have to have some type of filtering around the people we choose to have in our life because the wrong type of person is going to try and put you to shame because they understand your capabilities as the chosen one surpass their abilities. So the only way that they can diminish the thought of you surpassing them is to try and humiliate you. So if you have a history of being humiliated or people trying to humiliate you, embarrass you, put you on blast, you can truly be considered as a chosen one. Stay chosen.
A humiliation ritual is a ritual done to humiliate you. It is usually set up by a group of individuals or one specific person who doesn't want you to ascend to the next level. They are trying to block your path or steal your destiny. They see who you are in the spirit and they want your energy. They can do this emotionally, spiritually, or physically. Them are the first one for come say you're mad. Whole time them are do the dark magic and them are do the witchcraft And them a create all of the illusions. They do beauty spells. Yes, beauty spells. Witches can change your features for you to look different and them look more beautiful. Money blockage spells, irritation spells, anger spells, all type of spells. They are basically doing everything for you to get off your path so they can get on your path. These rituals are usually done on chosen people, the star seeds, the generational curse breakers. Uno na mad. They know that you have an high spiritual ranking. Thief na broke in a empty house, and me never see a man a stone a mango tree with be a green mango pan it. Your voice heals and activates people, so they do everything in their power to stop you from speaking. You have the power to unlock knowledge. Such presence will automatically attract hate and jealousy. You are multi-dimensional. You can tap into the spirit and make it happen in the physical. You have the ability to manifest anything. And with that, you will attract witches and warlocks. Because of your pure soul, they want to manipulate you into using your powers for evil and not for good. You struggle to connect with others and you are constantly in isolation. But it is not you. Most people just cannot manage your energy. Your energy is questionable. Them want it, them need it. They want your energy so that they can use it for their own purpose. They want to use it to intimidate, to manipulate, and to dominate. Their goal is to get you to stop following your purpose.
Really just dawned on me. The true chosen ones really are likely the ones to be very humiliated. Like, I just think back when I was in school and I was younger, I constantly got humiliated. Like, fucking humiliated. I remember one time I was in class, I was in the freaking ninth grade or some shit or something. I had a bag of chips. I left to go somewhere like the bathroom or something, came back, I was eating my chips. Next thing you know, I'm hearing motherfuckers laugh. They talking about, oh, they done spit in your chips. Humiliation ritual. When I was in the 5th grade, I was eating some chips again, some Cheetos. Don't know how the fuck the Cheetos got in my chair for me to sit on them bitches. But there was Cheeto dust on my fucking ass. We went to go to the bathroom and everybody was pointing and laughing like we were in the fucking movies. And the list goes on and on and on. And now I look back when I was younger, I dead ass was humiliated as fuck. And it really was because I was a motherfucking star. I did not know it then. I know it now. But something is in me. I'm a fucking star. So it's just like, of course, my dreams and ambitions are so far beyond people. They're gonna straight up laugh at that shit. I remember one time, I ain't gonna say no names, family member. I remember one time, whoop the whoop, I said I was putting myself in college. A motherfucker laughed in my face and said, we'll see how that goes, on some humiliation shit. Y'all, this is real shit. Like, I done went down a rabbit hole of humiliation rituals, and it's crazy that I was a product of such a fucking thing. I'm a singer. I'm not a famous singer. I'm not an A-list celebrity singer, and I don't want to be an A-list celebrity singer. I want to be an A-list celebrity real shit talker, exposing the motherfucking truth, but a bad bitch at the same time, knowing how to sing, and a model bitch too. Hello? Who y'all think y'all humiliating? I humiliate y'all.
The goal was to have you unalive yourself. The goal of the humiliation ritual was to have you unalive yourself, but you did not. And as a result, your enemy is going through extravagant things to create an environment that is not good for you. At the moment, what they are trying to do, one of the techniques, is create an environment where you feel excluded and left out deliberately on purpose. So beware of families having events and parties and celebrations, festivities where you are not invited. Beware of them going over the top around you, hugging and close to each other and extraordinarily friendly with each other, telling each other very intimate or personal things while doing it in a way to play in your face to show that you are excluded. And you'll know because they'll be kind of looking at you out of the corner of their eye while they're doing it. It's all a performance. It's all performance because there are specific people that they are targeting, and these are the ones that survived through what they were trying to put them through the humiliation ritual.